The Favor. For many years, this almost A-list actress, and that's Meghan Markle, precariously balanced herself between dating and yachting. She thought of it as dating upward, and there are perks such as lifestyle and glamour and gifts of dating upward rather than yachting in the traditional sense. It was through her willingness to straddle the line that she fit right in with an organization, and that is Soho House, that has locations all over the world to facilitate meetings between the wealthy and the attractive people who are drawn to the wealthy.
Because evidence has resurfaced of Meghan Markle's alleged, rumoured yacht girl.
Colin Jost just tossed a spark, and now the whole internet's up in flames. It happened during a Saturday Night Live sketch, just one smug smirk and a jab at Meghan Markle. And boom, the internet's favorite rabbit hole reopened. Those pre-royal yacht photos. You know, the one sunsets, champagne, and shady millionaires. The sketch was comedy, but the reaction, dead serious. Within minutes, timelines exploded. Everyone's asking the same thing. Why won't Meghan address those photos? Why is her past scrubbed cleaner than a palace PR statement? It all started with that look, Colin Jost's signature smirk, the kind he flashes right before lighting someone up. Live on SNL's Weekend Update, he stared dead into the camera and said Trump's trade deal with the UK includes sending Meghan Markle back if she deletes her Instagram again. The audience roared, but online, people weren't laughing. That punchline, it landed like a missile, because behind the joke was something far more cutting. No matter how polished her image, Meghan's erased past still haunts her. The internet didn't waste a second. Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, they went digging. Yacht photos resurfaced. Former connections reemerged. Meghan's deleted blog, The Teague, gone. Old friends who once praised her. Silent, a full-blown internet investigation erupted. People started asking how much of Meghan's persona is real, and how much is just PR theater. She wiped her Instagram when she joined the royals. Sure, but that wasn't all. It was a clean sweep: photos, posts, blogs, a digital vanishing act no one questioned. Until now, what's worse? Meghan's silence. Not even a snarky clapback. No IG post. No tweet. Just radio silence. And in today's world of receipts and exposes, that silence speaks volumes. Critics are calling it calculated. Fans are getting quiet. And trolls, they're feasting. A punchline has morphed into a cultural moment, and Meghan's ghosted history is center stage. It's no longer just about comedy. It's about what she's avoided, what she's edited, and what she's never answered for. Now critics are saying the quiet part out loud. Meghan didn't just end up with Prince Harry. She worked for it. Relentlessly. The innocent actress fairy tale. Cute, but unraveling. Online sleuths say her rise wasn't luck, it was hustle. Yacht parties, strategic friendships, London society, dinners. Every step looked like part of a larger climb. Was her royal romance a love story, or the final move in a master plan? That's the question everyone's asking, and the answers might be messier than Meghan ever imagined. The narrative isn't cooperating. This time, it's not just tabloids or royal loyalists poking holes in Meghan's story, it's mainstream media, late-night TV, and everyday people who once rooted for her. And that's where it really hits. Because when even your former allies start asking questions, the armor begins to crack. The SNL moment didn't just mock Meghan, it gave the public permission to laugh at her, to stop treating her as sacred. And once that spell breaks, it's hard to cast again. The idea that Meghan's rise was less fairy tale and more strategy doesn't just sting, it rewrites everything. Her ambition, once admired, now looks like calculation. The friendships, the parties, the chance meeting with Harry, all being reassessed with colder eyes. Suddenly, Meghan isn't the romantic outsider who broke tradition. She's the ultimate insider who played the long game. That shift changes everything. And the silence from her team, it's not helping. The polished posts and PR globes feel disconnected, even hollow, while the internet tears through her digital past like it's a crime scene. Colin Jost's joke wasn't long, but it landed like a cannonball. In those few seconds, he pulled back the curtain, and the audience didn't flinch, they roared. That laughter echoed far beyond the SNL stage. It was the sound of a narrative tipping. Meghan, the once untouchable Duchess, became just another celebrity under the microscope. People didn't just laugh because it was funny, they laughed because it felt true. That's the kind of joke that sticks. The kind that rewrites perception in real time. And now, even the media outlets that once protected Meghan's image are playing a different tune. Gone are the puff pieces and glowing praise. In their place, headlines laced with skepticism, unanswered questions, strategic disappearance, the vanishing of the Tig. They're no longer treating Meghan as the misunderstood victim. They're treating her like someone with a story to hide. The more her team stays quiet, the louder that suspicion grows. What's she really covering up? And why does it feel like we were never given the full truth? For years, any critique of Meghan was framed as cruel or racist. That was the safety net, the shield. But now, the backlash has outgrown that defense. This isn't about race anymore, it's about credibility, authenticity. People aren't just questioning Meghan's past, they're questioning her entire brand. From Hollywood climber to royal icon to Spotify dropout and Netflix narrator, none of it feels untouched by spin. Colin Jost may have cracked the joke, but it's the public that cracked the illusion. And Meghan Markle, she's now in uncharted territory where the audience is no longer buying the script. Even Meghan's go-to playbook is starting to fall apart. Why? Because there are just too many receipts. Too many things that don't add up. Too many traces of a life that's been aggressively edited. No one's mad that Meghan had a Hollywood past, everyone's got it before. The problem is how hard. She and her team have tried to erase it. Old blogs gone, photos vanished, friends silenced. Now the silence itself is becoming the story, and the perception isn't that Meghan's being targeted, it's that she's finally being seen. What really poured gasoline on the fire wasn't a headline or paparazzi ambush. It was regular people, citizen investigators who started digging, using facial recognition, Yacht geotags, Instagram, timestamps, and the Wayback Machine like weapons. What they found weren't coincidences. They were patterns. Suddenly, it all started to click. Deleted blogs matched to guest lists. Yacht parties synced with paparazzi shots. Whole timelines began reconstructing themselves, and none of them matched the fairy tale narrative. We were sold. And then it got weirder. People who once posted proudly with Meghan. Radio silent. Former co-stars dodging questions like they've forgotten how to speak. Stylists and glam teams who used to tag her every look, suddenly pretending they've never laid a finger on her hair. That's not just awkward, that's suspicious. It's coordinated, choreographed, and it reeks of damage control. Whispers of NDAs started circulating like wildfire. Online sleuths speculated that entire chapters of Meghan's life weren't just fading into the digital abyss, they were being forcefully redacted. And let's be honest, you don't gag your old crew unless you're trying to hide something real. So now the tone has changed completely. Meghan's not the misunderstood outsider anymore. She's no longer the brave American duchess who took on the monarchy and won hearts. She's starting to look like the architect of her own mythology. The soft focus, curated, just a girl in love with a prince narrative is cracking. And what's emerging underneath? Strategy, control, and maybe even a touch of deception. Because when regular people online are connecting dots, the press refuses to touch. This isn't gossip, it's a reckoning. And Meghan, she's running out of room to hide. What really flipped the switch for a lot of people wasn't just the SNL jab or the resurfaced yacht photos, it was the patterns. The calculated moves. The way every loose end seemed tied up with a pretty bow until someone tugged just a little too hard. Deleted social media, scrubbed blogs, vanished Hollywood connections, and the sudden silence from people who used to be in her circle 24/7. You'd expect the occasional falling out, but this looks like a digital scorched earth campaign, and every time someone asks a question, it's met with stone-cold silence, or worse, a lawyer. And then, there's the rebranding, the reinvention tour. Meghan Markle went from deal or no deal, suitcase girl, to duchess to media mogul, to podcast queen, to lifestyle brand visionary in less than a decade. Impressive, sure, but also, suspicious, because every time something cracks, she pivots. New photo shoot, new project, new narrative. It's the classic PR shuffle. Stay ahead of the truth by rewriting your own story faster than anyone else can tell it. But now that people are paying attention, those rewrites are starting to look more like cover dash-ups. It's not just the internet asking questions either. Journalists who once handled Meghan with velvet gloves are starting to change their tone. No more puff pieces and palace fairy tales. Now it's headlines like unanswered questions and strategic silence. Even the tabloids are circling back to old photos with new eyes. It's like the whole machine is turning around and realizing, wait a minute, how did we all fall for this? And maybe that's the real twist here. Meghan didn't just game the monarvia, she gamed the media, the public, the brand. She told a Cinderella story that hit all the right beats. American Girl, Prince, racism, escape. She got Oprah, Netflix, Spotify, Vogue, but now the story feels empty, manufactured, and the more people dig, the more the foundation starts to crack. Because here's the thing, no one's mad. Meghan had a life before royalty. We all did. What people are mad about is the effort to erase it. To pretend it didn't happen. To scrub every trace of it from the internet while selling a new version of herself that feels overly produced and eerily hollow. And when you try that hard to hide your past, the assumption becomes, there's something in it you don't want the world to see.